Welcome back to another round of Fish Blue Water. I'm Jamie Bunn, and the theme right now is sail fishing. So today we're going to show you guys how to set up your kite fishing rods. So what I wanted to do for you guys today is just take an opportunity to show you the typical setup in terms of both kite fishing rods and the flatline side that most of these guys who do this are running with. So whether you're a seasoned veteran out there or you're an up-and-comer, for the most part, the setup is going to be very similar, on the flatline side and the kite side. So let me start by grabbing kite rod here. So as you can see, I've got my electric reel to my left, which we'll talk about here in a minute. It's got the 3 clips set up for the kite line side. And over here on my little rigging tray, I've got a set of pliers, of course, which we're going to need to get our rod rigged up. I've got some floats for the kite side, our rings, our leads, which will vary in weight and size depending upon how much wind we have. Of course, our snap swivel to finish it off. And then we've got some leader material that ultimately will be how we set up our rig as far as the leader is concerned. All right, guys, so that was the Bimini twist as far as a double line option on the kite side. Again, if you're new to it, don't be intimidated by it. There are a few more steps involved, but it's a great knot. Watch that video, practice at home, and in no time, I promise, you will be very proficient at it. All right, so we've got our double line tied. Now we're ready to get the kite rod set up. First thing that needs to go on, I've got a metal ring here, which is actually how we are going to attach this rod to our kite clip. I'll show you that here once we get the rod set up. Next thing that needs to go on is our colored float, which we have here, and that is to be able to visually see where our baits are. I'm going to snip this double line right at, making sure I've pulled it evenly. I'm going to snip it right in the center. I don't happen to have a rigging needle with me at the moment. I'm going to try and make it as easy as possible for this to pass through the float and see if that works for me here. Love it when a plan comes together. So I got my ring on, I've got my float on. Next thing that I gotta put on is my weight. This is probably about a 3/4 ounce egg sinker. Remember, as I said, this is going to vary in size depending upon how much wind you have, what kind of bait you're fishing. Are you fishing a heavier bait like a goggle eye or a blue runner? Or are you fishing a lighter scaled bait like a threadfin herring, a pilchard, or a sardine? There may be times on no wind conditions, guys, when you're not going to fish one of these at all because you're having a hard time flying the kite. You need to keep things as light as possible. So we've got our double line here. Last step to finish this part off is this snap swivel I have in my hand. Going to run the double line, if I can see what I'm doing here without my glasses, through the snap swivel. And this is nothing more than just a simple fisherman's knot. So I'm going to go around 5 times, once, twice, 3, 4, 5, and then back through my loop, pull that snug. Now, one of the things you want to make sure you do with this, guys, is pull from above the double line so you're getting a consistent solid pull and an even pull with your knot all the way down. I've got a nice clean knot right there. I'm going to come in once again with my handy dandy fingernail clippers. And now we have kite rod rigged, ring, float, lead, snap swivel, ready to go with leader. So up next, we're going to show you how to tie your leader to your hook and finish this off completely. All right, so we've got the top half of this rig set up and ready to roll. The next step is the bottom half, which is our leader material and hook. So we've got a snap swivel that we have to attach this leader material to, right? 40-pound test mono, as I said. So I've got to get a loop on this to be able to attach it to that snap swivel. Again, many different ways to do these loop knots. My absolute favorite that I've been tying since I was fishing tournaments in high school. Don't ask me what the name is to this knot. So for now, let's just call it the fish blue water knot. But here we go. I've got the tag in on this side. I'm going to form a loop, pushing it towards you. I'm going to take that loop and snug it down, holding it between my thumb and forefinger. I go around with my tag in, around my thumb and forefinger, and now I snug that tag in back in front of the loop. Now, the line that I wrapped around my thumb and forefinger, I'm going to pull through the main loop. I'm going to hold that tag in just like this. I'm going to pull all of that together, nice and snug, till I get it to about the height that or the size that I want. You can make these loops really small, which is one of the things that I like. Maybe just grab a little hook, pull tight, and that is your loop knot. Super easy, super quick, super strong. You know where I'm going with this, right? Here we go. Those fingernail clippers come in handy. You can leave a little bit more of a tag in on this if you want. It's above the water. I'm big on presentation, so the cleaner I can make anything, the better I feel about my opportunity to get a bite, right? So here we go. We've got our snap swivel. We've got our line, our leader material that we have created our loop knot with. Simple as that. Onto the snap swivel it goes. We are now in the process. We have part 1 of 2 in terms of getting this leader rigged up. Next up, we got to put a hook on this thing. So a couple of different sizes of hooks that you can go. I've got circle hooks here today because, again, this is all tied to sail fishing. That will be the theme for the next several videos that we're showcasing and releasing for you guys. Different sizes, different brands, different strokes for different folks, right? I typically like anywhere between a 3/0 and a 6/0. Normally we'll fish a 5/0 or a 6/0 on my larger baits, like goggle eyes, and I'll go with a 3/0 or a 4/0 on my smaller pitch baits, sardines and things of that nature. Typically I find on the herrings, which we like to fish bigger ones anyways, that a 5/0 works well. So many different ways to make the attachment as far as the knot to your hook. Knots are like opinions. Everybody has one. So some guys may agree with me in terms of this knot and how they tie their knots. Some guys may have a different opinion. I'm going to show you 2 ways to do it. The first way is actually how I tie mine. It's simple. It's the same thing we did before. Just a standard fisherman's knot, a clinch knot. You can do an improved clinch knot if you want as well, but we got 40-pound test. We'll go around 4 or 5 times. Wet that up just to make it easy as we pull tight on that. Take a couple of wraps, hold the hook. Down she comes. We've got a nice clean knot ready to go. I just want to show you guys who haven't done a lot of kite fishing what we had talked about. So the purpose of this ring, now that we have this rod fully rigged up, we're ready to fish. On the kite side, depending upon your level of experience, some guys may fly 2 or 3 kites with up to 2 or 3 baits in each kite. As we talked about in our first video with team doing it all hard way, I thought Daryl had a great recommendation. He said, start simple. Just figure out how to get the kite in and out, figure out how to fish 1 rod, then go to 2, and then go to 3 as you build your confidence so that you don't get frustrated and put this thing in the corner of your garage and never fish it again. But this ring gets deployed like so. In my hands, clip is open. These clips open out and away from you. Ring slides over, just like that. There's swivels obviously on this, which we'll get to in other videos. As this line goes out, right? Back off of this a little bit so I can show you. We're gonna have a swivel that it will ultimately come off, catch this clip, and it will carry it away from the boat. And so as this is in free spool clicker, our line starts to come off the reel, our leader and our bait travels away. We've got 3 beautiful baits fishing on the opposite side of the boat, downwind. And I'm telling you guys, if you haven't done it, it's one of the most exciting ways to fish. Beautiful, you get to see the bite most of the time, especially these sailfish. They're coming up, they're feeding on the surface. It's just incredible. It's such an adrenaline rush. So if you haven't tried it, get to your local tackle shop, Bass Pro Shops, wherever you shop. Give it a shot. I promise you, with a little patience and a little practice, you're gonna love it. Hey guys, that's a wrap. Hope you enjoyed the video today. Make sure you remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you have a question, throw a comment up on any of our videos, or you can reach us at info@bluewatermovements.com. We look forward to bringing you more exciting videos wrapped around action, adventure, and education every Thursday. So we'll see you next week on @FishBlueWater.